to the Ange TV Show. If you click this video, it's probably because there's breaking news, or you're tuning in for my daily briefing. If you're new to this channel, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. There's 3 ways you can support the Ange TV Show. Visit our merch store at the Ange TV Show on Teespring and purchase merch now. Or you could send a super chat. And finally, you could become a member of this glorious channel by hitting the join button at the bottom of the video. Alright guys, enjoy the show. What's up guys? We are live! Welcome back to the Ange TV Show guys, and it's Tuesday. You know what that means, right guys? The unknown. Welcome back to The Unknown, guys. Now, a quick reminder, you could get the Unknown merch that I'm wearing right now on the Teespring store. The link is in the description. So, guys, tonight we have a special guest to talk about a special topic that a lot of you guys have been telling me about. I've been seeing it on TV, hearing a bit of stuff, you know, on the news and, the news doesn't like to talk about it a lot, but I've been hearing things about a certain continent called Antarctica, guys. And let me tell you, okay, Antarctica, it's a very vast area of ice, which has land under it. And it brings up a lot of questions about what's going on there. Did anything ever live there? I mean, guys, they found dinosaur fossils in Antarctica. So, I mean, the possibilities are endless. But to unravel all that stuff, guys, I have senior correspondent and comedian Claudio Capri.
Hello, everybody. Yes, I am the senior correspondent.
That's right.
Claudio, man, I almost forgot my name for a sec. So today we're talking about the Antarctica, yeah.
Antarctica, yeah.
And Antarctica, it's very, very good place. Yes, a lot of things happen in Antarctica. Divorces has happened in Antarctica.
Yeah.
A lot of Nazis. Okay, you know what? I'm stopping. You know what? I'm putting.
Okay, Claudio, calm down a second. Why don't you know what? I think I'll start for today. I'll start with what I think about Antarctica, guys. As I just mentioned, Antarctica, it's a huge area that they say is located in the South Pole, okay? Flat earthers would probably disagree with us, but like I said, it's just, there's a lot of caves, there's ice lakes, which we're going to talk about, right, Claudio? There's so much area, okay? For you to tell me that certain things don't exist in Antarctica, I'm going to give you the same argument, okay? Did you get a snowsuit and a husky dog, and did you visit every square inch of Antarctica? No, you didn't, right? So, or maybe you did, and you're some crazy expedition guy. Maybe you did, but if you haven't, then you can't disprove a lot of these theories. That's all I'm saying, guys. I'm throwing it out there. And if you guys have theories, I would love to hear them. Leave them on the comments. I see Ryocat is here. What's up, Ryocat? Jess, Raw, what's up, guys? So, Claudio, what are your initial thoughts on the secrets of Antarctica?
Well, let's go back to what we were saying before. Like, it was before the Earth divided itself with the earthquake, right?
Yeah.
The Earth was one big planet, right? Apparently, and that's where the natives, apparently it was from Japan or whatever. They crossed the Arctic. You know, so it was a really big road as well. So that's one theory. And then we have a bunch of other theories which we're going to be talking about tonight. And the more I'm thinking about this, the more I'm like, I don't know if it's true or not. But I do believe that the natives were of Japanese descent and that they did cross over from Japan into the Arctic, because before the Arctic was water, it was all frozen, so it was a good road land for them to cross.
You know, Claudio, that's a really good point. There was a time where it was all connected, right, with the Ice Age. What's up, Moki? I see you, buddy. There was a time where it was all ice and people could walk literally over to Asia and pretty much anywhere. It was all connected, right? So it is possible, your theory, Claudio. And like I said, I don't have it written down, but that could be a theory. Raul, if you have a theory, then shoot it. Guys, we're going through theories right now of Antarctica. The first theory, guys, a UFO crashed in Antarctica. Okay, I know what you guys are saying. Ange, you're crazy. Ange, it's not true. Well, guys, the whole point of this is to use your imagination and explore all possibilities and all scenarios, okay? What if a UFO crashed in Antarctica, okay? And, you know, it's so secretive in Antarctica because basically Antarctica is governed by all the countries in the world. They have a treaty called the Antarctic Treaty, and it's a very, very top secret area. Yeah. Very little is known about it. They don't publicize what goes on in Antarctica, and that's kind of why we're doing this episode. But could it be that a UFO crashed there? There was some kind of alien observation there, appearance, whatever, and they're trying to hide it. Wouldn't that make sense? That's why the government is trying to keep it so sealed tight, Claudio?
Yes, and sorry about
Bless you, Claudio.
I have another one coming. Okay, so. Well, it was. Sorry. Oh, sorry about that. So,
bless you, Claudio.
Yeah, thank you. So, yeah, so I believe a UFO did crash there. To this day, do UFOs live amongst the Arctic? Yeah, I do believe so. I do believe that there was a UFO crash right there, and because obviously when there's a blizzard, when it's a minus 220, where it's snowing. I think it's living amongst us, so that could be my
okay. But Claudio, I'm gonna grill you right now. No, but seriously, why do you think it? I don't know. Why would they crash in Antarctica?
Because well, that I have no idea why they crashed, but I do believe because of what we're going to be going through. I do believe. I do believe they crashed here. Now, I'm not saying they crashed here a few years ago. They may have crashed here like centuries ago.
Okay.
So that's where I'm going with.
Okay, so you think that aliens were possibly seen or crashed there or lived there in the past? That's your theory, right?
Yes.
There's actually a lot of theories, guys, of who lived in Antarctica. They say that like early humans lived there. They actually found dinosaur fossils. So, I think we could easily say that dinosaurs did roam Antarctica at some point in history, right, Claudio? Millions of years ago. Other than that, we don't really know what could have lived there, guys. But like I said, going back to the UFO crash theory, it's very possible. It's very possible that something did happen there. Maybe it's an area where there's a lot of UFO activity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe there's 10 times more UFO activity in Antarctica than at the Pierre Elliott Trudeau airport that was in Montreal, the green lights and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Which we're going to talk about on guys, we're going to be doing the Unknown Montreal. I'm very excited about that. We're looking to do it. It's going to be a spinoff of the Unknown. It's going to be probably in the summer when the restrictions are lifted and we could go and investigate things. So that's one theory. Now, another theory, which I think is a really good theory, guys, and I think this is probably 99.9% true, okay? There's unknown species under the ice of Antarctica. Now, what we mean by that is that there's ice lakes in Antarctica, okay? And apparently, it's as hot as 30 degrees in that water, which means there's a good chance that there's life at the bottom of the ice, which is about 2 kilometers deep. Basically, there's the ice, it's 2 kilometers deep, and then there's the water, right?
Yeah.
So there's a good chance there's species, fish species, other species like that we have no idea about. What do you think, Claudia, about that?
That could be true. I was reading on some stuff as well, and 2 kilometers. Actually, I think it's even more than 2 kilometers, if I'm not mistaken. So it's like a few kilometers down, and the water is 30 degrees, and there's like unknown species that are down there. Do I disagree? No. I need proof because I just been reading it through articles. Yeah. But we need some sort of proof.
Okay, EB20, by the way, he's saying that this was from the last theory about the aliens. He says, there's no such thing about aliens, bro. Let me explain. Okay, no problem. My theory, bro, is very simple. Jinns, shapeshifters, and we just think they are aliens, bro. You know what, EB20? That's an amazing comment, okay?
Yeah.
Like I said, the word alien, okay, it means alien means something of another planet. That's what alien. When they say illegal alien, it's somebody outside Canada, somebody outside the United States. So it's something that we don't know what it is. It's outside of where we are. So like at the end of the day, aliens could look like this glass of water, right? Aliens could look like Claudio. Aliens could look like my grandmother. Like aliens could look like everybody. There's different types of aliens. They talk about the gray skins and all that stuff. So yes, maybe it's genies, shapeshifters. It's possible, EB. Fishy and Banana says there could be life inside the ice, but there's a small chance. Fishy, I would disagree with you. It's fine. It's cool. I love your comment. But over here, guys, we could agree and we could disagree. The reason why I disagree, I think it's a very high chance, is because, like I said, in these the water beneath the ice sheets, apparently they could be 30 degrees, which means there's a very high chance that life could live there, right, Claudio?
Yes, there's a very high life that that old theory that was about we'll only discover how much of the percentage of the ocean is discovered.
To be honest, I'm not 100% sure about it. I think it's like 90 something percent is not discovered.
Okay, so there we go. So probably that other percent is in the Arctic.
Well, yeah, it goes with the oceans too. Yeah, you're right. You're saying that in the oceans there's a lot of species we don't know, which is true, guys. Did you ever hear about Mariana's Trench? It's very, very deep. So deep that the sun doesn't even shine. You have no idea. You can't even see. Even if people visited Mariana's Trench, it's very hard to see in the water. That's why it's called the abyss, and it's hard to see if there's any species. David Bowles, my man, is in the building. What's up, David Bowles from Northern Ireland? How are you, my friend? So, guys, I think that's a very good theory. EB said aliens equals other planet. Yeah, I know, man. Let me explain. Alien. They're genies, bro. Like I am Muslim. You ever seen these light orbs? They can change their shape. No, I've never seen orbs that can change their shape. Are you talking about orbs with ghosts? I'm not sure if you're talking about that. Okay, so what you're trying to say is that aliens are genies / shapeshifters. Okay, so your theory, EB, would be the reptilian theory. It would be basically that aliens are among us. I mean, Claudio could be an alien, and they're basically shapeshifters. So maybe Claudio, when he goes to bed, he turns into his alien form, and when he's on the podcast, he's his human form. So that's what you're trying to say. Oh, you're talking about ghost orbs. Yeah, that's very possible. Fisher and Banana says there could be tons of animals that we haven't discovered yet. Of course, there is tons of animals we haven't discovered. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. When I was talking about Bigfoot last week, guys, I was just trying to tell you there's thousands, probably tens of thousands of species we have no idea even exist, right?
Exactly.
So maybe Bigfoot is just one of those species of animals that we've never seen before. You know what I mean, guys?
Yeah, exactly.
Now, the next theory, guys, okay? It brings back, a dark piece of history, world history. But could it be, okay, and I didn't invent this theory, but could it be that Antarctica is or was a Nazi base, which means Germany, okay, actually, this is a fact, but in 1938, Germany had expeditions to Antarctica, which led to the conspiracy that maybe Hitler escaped to Antarctica by a submarine, which is one of the theories. So it's a pretty crazy theory, guys. In my opinion, I think it's 100% possible. I don't know if the Germans or the Nazis, whatever, I don't think they would want to live in almost minus 60 temperature in Antarctica. So that makes me think it's probably fake, okay? However, like I said, I'm sure they had more than enough clothing, and they had all the equipment and whatever they needed to stay warm and live there. It's possible, right, Claudio? What do you think?
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, no, I think it was possible because again, there are also multiple theories that Hitler, did leave, and like it wasn't, and the one who died in Germany was an imposter. So probably, maybe Hitler lived. Maybe so when they said Hitler died, maybe the fake one died and the real one went off to Antarctica. We never know.
Exactly, but there's a lot of theories that Hitler might have gone to Argentina. But like I said, what if he went to Antarctica? Don't you think in our look? Listen, guys. Don't you think the most wanted guy in the world at that time, if he would have went to Argentina, somebody would have probably caught him. Somebody would have noticed him. So I think going to Antarctica would probably be a better option for Hitler, right? Nobody is living there, right? I think he can get away with it. But like I said, we don't know, guys. This is just one of the theories. Also, EB said, going back to the alien theory, he said, not reptilian, bro. Jinns can even turn into humans like form, but sometimes we can catch them shapeshift. I will show you. Okay, I'm not sure how you're going to show me, EB, but go ahead and show me. I would like to see that, guaranteed. Guys, there's another theory here. There is a hole in Antarctica, okay? I'm not making this up. There is actually a hole in Antarctica, okay? Some people are saying, and this is actually based on a movie, The Center of the Earth, could the hole in Antarctica lead, could it be like a staircase into the center of the Earth? Now, let me explain something, okay? What you know about the center of the Earth, what scientists will tell you, is that there's magma there, right? It's hot. It's the core of the Earth. There's magma. There's rocks. But what if, and this goes with the hollow theory, okay? What if the Earth was hollow? What if it was basically a wide, like it was a big space of nothingness, and then there was like another sun in the middle? What if this hollow theory is true, and you could walk in the middle of the Earth through that hole, Claudio?
I want to call it bullshit a little bit, because we need to see. Give me a second. Okay, sorry. Because we need to see proof, right? So, I mean, where was all this proof the entire time, right? So, again, I'm not here to say that you're wrong or you're right. I'm just here to say that I think, in my own perspective, I need to see proof. And so that's it. So look, you might be right, and also, can it be a hole like we spoke about off air? Can it be a hole to another dimension, right?
Yeah, you see, we were throwing around that theory, but it just it's easy to say that things lead to another dimension, but that's a whole nother crazy, right? Like it's hard to prove that it leads to another dimension. I have a hard time believing it. I have a hard time believing this theory. Like I said, I'm presenting this theory. It's the hollow Earth theory. I don't really. To me, it doesn't really catch on. I don't think it's possible that you could just walk in like you're going into a bunker, into the middle of the Earth. I think the middle of the Earth is very hot, and you'll probably die if you go there. So I don't know. This theory is a bit far off. And like I said, everybody's open to their opinions. And we go through all scenarios here. So the next theory, guys, I will admit, I created this, okay? I want to know what you guys think about this. Celebrities go to Antarctica to fake their death, okay? I want this to seep in a bit. I want people to think about this for a second, okay? You remember Elvis? When Elvis died, everybody said, yeah, but Elvis is still alive. He's hidden somewhere on an island. You remember Tupac when he died? They're still making up stories that Tupac is still alive. Michael Jackson. Didn't Michael Jackson have a weird death? There's just so much. There's so much. And it doesn't even have to be celebrities, okay? Osama bin Laden. Have we seen his body, Claudio?
No. But
they told us that they took Osama bin Laden's body and threw it at the ocean, right? That's what they told us. But don't you think maybe Antarctica could be a place for people to hide?
True.
You know what I mean? Now, there's certain, before I get your opinion, Claudio, there's certain, I would say, branches to this theory, okay? One, it could be fake death, yeah, I believe, but to Antarctica, no. Okay, so you believe celebrities fake their death, but you don't believe they go to Antarctica. Okay, that's cool. But the reason why I'm saying this, because Antarctica is just a really good place to hide. Who the hell is going to go find you there, right? Now, it's easy to say that, but if the government is looking out for Antarctica and watching every single move, they would probably not allow celebrities. They would probably catch celebrities hiding there, right? I get what you're saying, right? But think about this. What if the government captures these celebrities, okay? The Michael Jacksons, the Tupac, the very, very talented people, okay? What if the government captures these people, brings them to Antarctica, and then studies them so that they could replicate them, so that they could find out how to get those genes, those talented genes? I know this is a crazy theory. I just thought of it today. I thought it was very interesting. Okay. So just think, imagine the government took really, really talented people who just so happened to disappear and tried to basically clone their genetics. They tried to make another Michael Jackson, tried to make another Tupac, right? I mean, these are one of a kind people, right? What do you think about this, Claudio?
I don't think it's true. But at the same time, I believe more. I believe more if this is a place where Hitler was hiding. I believe more of that. But to have like celebrities going there fake their deaths, nah, I don't think so.
Okay, so for you, Claudio, it's completely out of the realm that celebrities would go there to fake their death. Listen. There's a lot of people, okay, that supposedly got sick and died. There's a lot of criminals that supposedly just went missing. You know how many people went missing, Claudio? You're gonna tell me that like it's all child abductors? I don't know, guys. It's just too good to be true. I mean, there's people that like I said, Tupac. It was a closed casket. Don't forget that it was a closed casket funeral. Okay. Michael Jackson, very, very weird circumstances when he died.
How did Michael Jackson die?
It was an overdose of I can't remember the name of the drug. Propofol.
Okay.
I can't remember the name of the drug, but it was an overdose of a certain drug that he used to take. It's actually a really common drug that they use in the hospital. It's a very, very strong drug. It's like basically morphine, and that's how he died. Okay. EB20 says, no, I believe that Illuminati definitely got them killed because I know few celebrities tried to expose them. You know what? Tupac actually tried to expose Illuminati, kill Illuminati. You don't remember that? Listen, I'm going to tell you something. A lot of times, okay, when you try and go against the government, their agenda of the government, this is actually very serious, guys, and it's true. I can tell you right now. There's people that the government wants to hide right now, okay? And they're actually... They're gonna get hidden. Their platforms on social media are getting deleted. They're getting censored. The next step is making them disappear. So trust me, there's people that the government just doesn't want to see around. And if you go against the government's agenda, that's what happens. You start seeing charges against you. You start seeing your degrees disappearing and everything. You know, like they could do some crazy stuff.
Yeah, and if you go with them, if you're not against them, they're going to be like, okay, so what do you want? What do you want to do? Okay, I got it. This is what you want. Okay. See how it's... and by the way, if you don't mind me saying, Angelo.
Yeah.
EB20 said Tupac was death marked by the Illuminati. Surge Knight was... Yeah, I know. Because at one point, Tupac was talking about the Illuminati as well.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and then I think he made a song or two about them, and then
apparently in Tupac's songs, if you play them backwards, it says the Illuminati, I'm alive, and I'm like, if you rewind the Tupac song, it says I'm alive. I swear to God, it's hilarious. But you know, when you rewind songs, there's a lot of coincidences, right, Claudio?
Yeah.
So, guys, going back to this theory, hang on a second, where were we at? It was the celebrities. Yeah, the celebrities go there to fake their death. Like I said, this is just one that I threw in there. I thought it was very interesting. But like I said, maybe it could be like people like Porter. Like, you know, the MHC, the scandal. Arthur Porter, maybe he's hiding there. A lot of war. Listen, I think it's a place for celebrities, war criminals, people that are wanted that could possibly go there either to start a new life or to just hide.
But where would they live in Antarctica?
Where would they live? There's actually caves, Claudio. They say that the Nazis lived in these caves. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So there's actually caves there that you could probably live in. It's very cold. Okay.
Can you just imagine? Sorry to cut you off, but can you just imagine? It's like, hi, welcome to Antarctica. This is the cave hotel. So it's like a big, like gigantic mountain, but there's like little caves, right? And you see everyone like in their own little caves. Like you see like their what's it called? Their stoves. Their stoves is made of like caves, and their bed are caves.
So basically, Antarctica, it's like those ice hotels that they have in like
exactly. Can you just imagine that?
In all seriousness, though, it's on my bucket list. Go to Antarctica. I mean, it'll probably be expensive, and I'm probably not allowed to go. Maybe there is some areas I'm allowed to go to. I don't know, but Ryocat said that is cold. Yes, you can get up to -60 in Antarctica.
You're gonna need to hunt bears and know how to hunt them, and then put layers and layers of bear skin on you
For sure.
because those Canada Goose jackets are not gonna save you.
Yeah. Guys, the next theory, Claudio, you skimmed on it a bit. Ancient civilizations lived there. Okay? Lived there, which means they were there, right?
Probably live there. You never know. They're probably good at hiding.
Guys, just imagine something. Imagine if there was snow aliens. Aliens that lived there that were snow aliens.
I mean, there was a movie called Ice Soldiers, and it was actually about a group of human scientists had to track down,
Really?
alien soldier, ice aliens.
Ryocat brings up a good point. He says maybe there's a bunker there for nuke war. We're going to talk about that later, Ryocat. I agree with you. Play backwards. One of Dirty Fur's lives. You can hear Claudio say Raw is banned. Ryocat is saying, and how going to get food in there? Okay, so Ryocat is saying, how do you get food to Antarctica? If you're going to live in Antarctica, how would you get food there? There's such things as helicopters, planes that could go to Antarctica. So I don't think, if you really wanted to live on Antarctica, I think you can make it happen and feed yourself, Ryocat. You just got to get a lot of food. Now, okay, so Ryocat said maybe Asian caveman Antarctica. Yes, that is a possibility. It is very close to Asia.
Yeah, like Wildcat. What I mentioned before is before the Earth was, before the Great Earthquake, right? Everything was all together, right? So, so Asia, you could have crossed the Arctic from Asia to here, and that's why the natives apparently they were from Japan, and then from Japan they crossed the Arctic. So that could be
EB20 said there is maybe civilization living there. There no ever heard of the story Yajuj and Majuj, Gog and Magog? No, I never heard of that. But we know for a fact that at some point, millions of years ago, when it probably wasn't a cold place, the dinosaurs lived there because they did find fossils. So that we know.
Yeah.
Did cavemen live there? Probably.
Well, did you ever watch the movie? By the way, did you ever watch the movie Quest for Fire?
No.
Oh, it's a movie set made in the 80s, and it explained that apparently they were in the Arctic trying to find fire. But, obviously the cavemen didn't speak English, or they spoke caveman language. Yeah. But it was hilarious. And then it's not a comedy, but it's dated. But yeah, they were like, I think Antarctica, and I've been reading a few theories about this. Apparently, Antarctica, like that was the place of cavemen, nomadic nomadic hunters. That's where they were.
Well, think about it, guys. You could hunt seals. There's all kinds of fish you could hunt. You could survive like that. Maybe the place German camp. Yeah, well, we said that. Ryocat, we said that it could be a Nazi base. We already said that, Ryocat. Pay attention, okay? Okay, listen. The ancient civilizations, okay? The reason why we're saying this, okay, is because they found pyramid-like, what do you call it, Claudio? Pyramid-like ice or caves. Yeah. Was it caves?
Yeah.
They found pyramid-like structures in Antarctica, okay? And whenever you see pyramid-like stuff, automatically you think aliens. Because that it's always associated with aliens because it points to the sky. So could it be that there was an alien civilization that lived there? There's other theories, guys. Cavemen could have lived there. Like I said before, it was all connected. We don't know.
How far is the Arctic to Mexico?
How far is the Arctic?
No, sorry. Arctic to Egypt.
The Arctic to Egypt is pretty damn far, Claudio.
well, maybe because the Arctic, the pyramids maybe was connected with Egypt and Mexico. That's one theory that I heard. So
it makes sense, right? If Mexico is here, Antarctica is here, and then you said Egypt, it makes a triangle.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but like I said, those theories go with the alien theory. Whenever you think pyramids, you think aliens. Raul is saying, ask Mr. Steal Your Memes because he's from Egypt. Can you show me those structures? Ryocat said maybe gold there in Antarctica. Listen, guys, I haven't heard of any gold being stuffed in Antarctica.
Actually,
But you know what, Claudio? I think that's an interesting theory too. Maybe it's a place to hide your money.
yeah, actually, you know what? And I was actually gonna bring up this theory. So I was watching this documentary on the History Channel about the history of the Arctic, right? Sorry, Antarctica, and
Yeah,
and the pyramids. So we have pyramids in Egypt, pyramids in the Arctic, and pyramids in Mexico, right?
yeah.
So, again, I'm going back to the Earth before it divided itself, right? So maybe these pyramids, what they were is it was like a water stream, right? It was one gigantic water stream, right?
Yeah.
So maybe that's what it was. So that could possibly be it. And then obviously, how that was built. Well, that's a different story. But all I'm saying is like Arctic to Egypt and Mexico, it was one gigantic water stream. So that possibly could be it.
Interesting, interesting. I agree with you, Claudio. That could very well be. But what if, Claudio? What if Antarctica is where Atlantis was? We talked about Atlantis
Yeah,
about three,
yeah,
4 weeks ago.
yeah.
What if Atlantis was actually under the ice of Antarctica, and that's how it got lost, Claudio? What do you think about that?
That could be a possibility. Again, like has I'm gonna sound a little bit dumb and arrogant here, but has there been discoveries under the ice? Did people go underneath the ice or no?
Okay, well, I'm gonna say something. They actually started digging there. I believe it was in the 50s. They started to poke holes in the ice and go and see what's under there. Apparently, it goes 2 kilometers deep. The ice, it's that thick, 2 kilometers thick, and under there, I don't know if I don't know if some areas are earth and some like land, and some areas are water. I'm not too sure about that. I think that's the case though. Some is land, some is water. But apparently, under the ice, there's these ice lakes. There's water under there.
Hmm.
So,
Okay.
like I said, could it be that it got swallowed up, Atlantis? It was in Antarctica, got swallowed up.
But then how? But how would the ice? Because maybe there was a great snowstorm, so maybe that could be
But I'm
true.
saying it could be that the ice age basically froze over
Yes. Yes.
Atlantis. And you know why we say this? Because apparently there's a lot of structures underground. There's almost like little cities under the ice, guys. Okay, that looks a lot like what Plato talks about is Atlantis.
To this
So
day.
yeah, but they're saying that under the water there's a lot of structures, and it looks like there was civilizations. You know what I mean?
Interesting. Okay. Interesting.
Do you buy this with the Atlantis theory, Claudio?
You know what? This is gonna sound really dumb.
Yeah.
What if Atlantis is still there today?
It could be. It could be. Like, listen, Atlantis, it depends what your idea of Atlantis is. If your idea of Atlantis is that it was a real civilization of people, then it's not true, this theory. But if Atlantis is a bunch of mermaids and sea kings and this, that, and they live underwater, then it is possible. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because the more I'm thinking about this now, and again, I may be wrong. So the more I'm thinking about this right now, the more I'm thinking about there could be a civilization, or who knows, or maybe it was a civilization that nobody wants us to find. So it could be happening because from what you're describing and from what I'm talking about, yeah, it's
Mm-hmm.
just the ice is very very hard to break,
Yeah.
and also at the same time, if you're breaking the ice, you don't know what's coming out of the ice.
Cat says maybe there have been frozen caveman, a frozen
Yeah.
creature there. Well, I'm going to tell you something, Cat, and I'm going to get you excited a bit because I think he's Japanese, right? Apparently, they said that they saw a Godzilla-like creature in the ice caves, frozen. Apparently, they found this big frozen creatures, kind of like Godzilla-looking, in the ice lakes. So who knows what's creeping and lurking in these ice caves in Antarctica, Mr. Cat? I mean, it's very possible. Now, the flat Earth theorists, the people that believe that the Earth is flat, believe that Antarctica is a wall of ice around the Earth. It surrounds the Earth. It's a wall of ice for, I think, 30 to 60 meters high, right, Claudio?
Yeah,
And
sorry. I'm actually looking to what you're saying right now. I'm doing Google research right now,
exactly.
and so from what I'm reading. By the way, sorry to cut you off.
Go ahead, Claudio.
So from what I'm reading is there are monsters, but there's not Godzilla like monsters. And here's the thing, okay? The creatures, and the cavemen, they're frozen, but their bodies are still intact.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait a
That's what I
minute. You're
mean.
saying that there's cavemen frozen under the ice of Antarctica?
Yeah.
So they found cavemen's bodies?
They assume that they would find caveman because what you're saying is that it's 30 degrees, right?
Yeah, the water. Yeah.
So exact. So if you're near water that's 30 degrees, but you're frozen, your body's still going to be intact. So you're not fully frozen. Your outside shell might be frozen. But
Okay,
your
but like,
inside,
okay, because there's been a lot of, like, when you see in pop culture and movies, you see that they find frozen cavemen. Eh?
yeah,
Did you notice that?
yeah.
So listen, like I said, I've never been to Antarctica, but that would be something if they found frozen bodies in the ice of Antarctica. Listen, if there's something I wish I would live to see, okay, if there's two animals I wish I could live to see is Woolly the mammoth. What's it called? What's it called? That big ancient elephant. What's it called?
The
Claudio?
mammoth, the mammoth.
Mammoth. Is that how you call it? Yeah,
Mhm.
mammoth. Yeah. I wish I could live in the time of mammoths, and I wish I could live in the time of saber-toothed tigers. Those were
Yeah,
cool with the big freaking fangs. They were really cool animals.
yeah. I'll just be right back. I actually have to explain to you something. I'll just be right back.
No problem. No problem. The next theory, guys, this is pretty simple. Aliens live there. Okay. Now, the theory behind aliens live there is, okay, if the government is there, okay, all the countries got, all the leaders of all the countries are there. Could it be that the aliens, just like the natives, okay, they say that they're from Canada, we came here first. Could it be that the aliens were in Antarctica first and they're there to discuss with the world governments who are there from the Antarctic Treaty about, like, no, they negotiate, like the aliens negotiate with the world leaders? Don't you think that would be a really, really interesting thing? Like, don't you? It could be that, like, we're at their mercy. We're at the mercy of aliens in Antarctica. You know what I mean? Claudio's back. Claudio, I
Yeah.
just explained that. Could it be that aliens are in Antarctica and they're basically negotiating with world leaders on how to go about things? What do you think, Claudio?
That's a deep theory. That is a very, 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 very deep theory. I wouldn't be surprised. Again, that's very deep. So I don't want to be guys saying, "Oh yeah, no, it's right." Anything is possible. But before I continue, I want to go back to you saying you wish you lived in the time of mammoth and saber-tooth.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think you want to live during the time of saber-tooth and mammoths
Why?
because they're pretty dangerous, man.
Really?
Like saber. From what I read, mammoths are they have attitude problems. So you know, like how elephants, like you could tease an elephant and it'll just go on its way, but instead the mammoth is gonna, because it has tusks, so it's gonna come and attack you.
It's
And
true. And even a
saber-tooth will-
saber-toothed tiger, man. Like, think of a tiger. It's probably a lot bigger than a tiger, eh?
yeah, it's bigger. Did you ever watch, for example, the movie 10,000 BC?
Yeah, 10,000 BC. I'm gonna go watch it. Actually, it's on Netflix. I'm gonna go watch it for sure. Michael Acker says, Ange, when you're saying about mammoths and saber-toothed tigers, scientists have said they could bring them back using DNA. Listen, I am praying that they bring back the saber-toothed tiger. I want to see the saber-toothed tiger. No, I do want to see it, Claudio.
Yeah, but then you're gonna be, dude. Okay, you know what? Okay, what we're living right now, guys, and I'm not saying this for animals. I'm also gonna go. Like, can I branch out a little bit here, Ange?
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, you know, everybody's saying, yeah, robots are going to be there. This, no, come on. For example, we all saw what happened in Terminator. We all see what happens in 10,000 BC. Okay, it's not going to be pleasant. It's going to be, we won't want to see that. Okay, I don't know about you. But I'm gonna be scared if I have to face saber tooth. I don't even want to face a regular tiger or a lion, and you're gonna make me face a big
Claudio,
cat.
nobody said you had to face a saber-tooth tiger, okay?
Yeah, but you never know. Yeah, yeah,
Just saying, I would love to see a saber-tooth tiger in a zoo. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, because
it's a beautiful creature.
Yeah, you know how big it is, and
how big is it?
Big.
Yeah.
Big. Yeah. It's big. It's not size. We're talking about like
really
massive. Yeah, we're talking about like a size of a two thing. For example, think about two desks put together with fangs. Wow. Yeah, and if you're a Granby Zoo, like a tiger or a lion could run up, but the saber-tooth is gonna come there and destroy your car.
Wildcat said, "No is the dangerous thing because the city will be destroyed. This creature." What? How to make a zoo about a moment? I don't know what he's talking about, Wildcat. But guys, I have an interesting another theory. Okay, super viruses and bacteria in Antarctica. This is not a theory. This, guys, actually exists. Okay, the scientists have found viruses and bacteria 100 times worse than the common cold in the glaciers in Antarctica. So the theory is, if these glaciers were to melt, going with the global warming movement, because guys, I think we could all agree that the temperature on the Earth is becoming hotter and hotter, and the glaciers are melting. I think we could all agree on that. Now, if these bacteria and super virus-filled ice melts, it would contaminate the whole Earth with this stuff. It would be like another pandemic. You know what I mean? A super pandemic. What do you think about this, Claude? Do you think it's possible?
Let me ask you another question. Since the Antarctic is melting, right?
Yeah.
And slowly little viruses are coming out. Do you think that's where COVID came from?
That's a really good point. Do I think it's where COVID came from? I don't think so, though.
Okay. No,
I don't think it came from Antarctica. I mean,
I want to sound intelligent for a minute.
Listen, yeah, I know you're trying to sound intelligent, but the thing is, the virus, we all know it came from an animal. It came from an animal that went to a human. So now, ice is not an animal. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
but
it's a bit far-fetched.
Yeah, but where did the bat come? Actually, no, forget about it.
There's no bats in Antarctica, Claudia.
Yeah, I know. God damn it!
I got you.
I know, but yeah, I know. Super. Because I always read about this. I read about this as well. Super viruses. Because back then there were disease that we didn't have, right? Exactly. So, but again, can we handle those diseases? That's the question.
Yeah, the question is, they say it's 100 times stronger than a common flu. And by the way, for those of you just joining, apparently in the glaciers in Antarctica, there's unknown bacterias 100 times stronger than the cold that are in these glaciers. So we don't know if it were to melt and seep into the earth, like the land.
Do you know what kind of? Do you know what kind of viruses are there, or
I didn't look at what type of viruses there were, but the thing is, they said a lot about cold-loving bacteria. Okay, listen. Usually, when something's hot, it kills the bacteria.
Yes.
Right. That's why they say cook your chicken, make sure it's cooked and everything, because when it's cold, bacteria lives on it. At a certain temperature, the bacteria dies. So that's why it could be that there's really dangerous bacteria living in a cold-loving bacteria that lives in Antarctica. I mean, whether we have the vaccine or answer to these bacteria, that is unknown. But just imagine if these bacteria were to make its way to Canada and US and all over the place.
COVID is going to be a little child compared to.
Listen, I'm going to tell you guys something. Since it's a big topic, COVID and everything, listen, you guys have no idea what we're in for, okay? Viruses are inevitable. We're always going to have viruses every 5 years, every 10 years, every 100 years. Some viruses aren't going to be that bad. Why? Because, for example, Ebola was a very deadly virus, okay? But it didn't spread as much. That's why it didn't cause what COVID's causing. Because COVID, it kills less people, which it's able to, but it's more infectious, so it infects a lot of people, right? So even though the thing that's dangerous about COVID is that it still kills a certain percentage of people, right, Claudio? Yep. So any person that dies is one too many, right? That's why when a lot of conspiracy theories says, "Oh yeah, but only 3 people die a day," it's still people dying of COVID that wouldn't die if it wasn't there, right? So at the end of the
Yeah.
day, that's the problem with COVID. It's gonna kill somebody, not many, but it'll kill people, and that's not a good thing to have, right? People dying for no reason, right, Claudio?
Yeah,
So,
no, that's right. And again, going back to the super viruses, like, uh,
mhm,
all I'm saying is that if the government has trouble handling COVID right now, just
mhm.
imagine how they're gonna be able, how they're gonna handle these super viruses and bacterias.
And by the way, guys, there's thousands of animals right now as we're speaking that could literally transmit a virus to a human, to any human out there, and easily do another type of COVID. There could be literally 2 pandemics at the same time. Just imagine how crazy that would be, but it could happen. So disease is part of the end of the world theories, which we're gonna next week we're gonna do end of times. We're gonna do the end of the world. We're gonna have theories about the end of the world, Claudia. That's gonna be really interesting. I think we're gonna do that. Going on to the next theory, nuclear tests. Could it be that the government is testing nuclear missiles in Antarctica?
Well, yeah, there's a story, K-19, the Widowmaker. It's basically a story. Do you know a story about K-19?
No.
Okay, so basically, it's a Russian submarine. It was a nuclear Russian submarine
Yeah.
that was supposed to go spy on the Americans. We're talking about in the Cold War, so that's 1950s or
Okay.
60s. But they had to go do a nuclear test. So they had to go in the Arctic. But what
Okay.
happened was their submarine was breaking, right? It was falling apart. But they had to go shoot this bomb, right? But
Okay.
it was a bomb. And if they survived shooting this bomb in the air, then they could have shot a nuclear summer like a nuclear missile. But the
Mhm.
submarine was nuclear. So what had happened was it went. So it was a nuclear test. So they ended up going into the Arctic and just firing them. They were supposed to fire 2 missiles, but I think they ended up firing one.
Okay.
So it was so that was a nuclear test. The hunt for Red October was partly fictionalized.
What's Red October? What is that?
So it's a Russian submarine. So
Oh,
basically,
okay.
but K-19, the Widowmaker, that was a story about how a nuclear submarine got stranded in the Arctic, and then
Really?
yeah, it happened in the 60s.
Wow. Okay.
So
Whoa. How did a submarine get stuck in Antarctica?
because it was breaking down.
And what happened to this submarine?
Uh, I think it got lost or they destroyed it.
Really?
Yeah, they destroyed it
And
because
what's so special about this submarine?
it was supposed to be a nuclear test. There was because
Uh,
the submarine that was supposed to survive, it was supposed to have a nuclear. It was supposed to have a nuclear missile,
okay.
but it didn't have a nuclear missile. They
Wow.
had to test it, see how it went. But so one of the stories that happened that K-19, because okay, so there's like a missile, like so in the submarine they're throwing a missile, right? There's supposed to be water
Yeah.
in where they're shooting, but then the nuclear reactor was melting, so it wasn't
Okay.
water that was flooding it. It was nuclear reactor. So that happened in the Arctic. So that was one of the tests to see how far.
Possible.
Yeah.
Raul said maybe Santa Claus isn't in the North Pole, he's in Antarctica. Guys, that could be a theory too. Maybe Santa Claus is in Antarctica. It could be, guys. Maybe the
Yeah,
big old Saint Nick is hiding in Antarctica, and that's where he has his factory and his elves.
yeah. San Nicola. That's where he might be.
And you go, guys. There's another theory that apparently the ice lakes in Antarctica, are very similar to the lakes, the water reserves on Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. Okay, just imagine if you could have life in the water under the ice lakes. What's to say that you wouldn't have that same life on Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn? Okay, to be more precise, Mars, there could be water that has these animals. Jupiter and Saturn, they're saying that it's the orbits that could have water on it, which means there could be life on these planets. So could it be that the government is testing these ice lakes in order to better understand life on other planets, guys? It's an interesting theory. What do you think, Claudio?
I'm reading into that as you're speaking. From what I mentioned before, maybe it's taking because they're trying to the government. I don't know if this is true or not, so I'm telling you what I'm reading. So the government is trying in the Arctic to be like, okay, so it's cold, so maybe Mars or Jupiter is going to be really cold. Maybe it's hot. That's why they're drilling. So they're trying to find stuff. So that could, so they're trying to study the Arctic. So then maybe millions of years ago, aliens or any other creatures came here, and maybe they're trying to survive here, but like over there. I don't know if I don't know if I was
Okay, so you're
making
trying to
sense.
say that if aliens are basically coming to Antarctica because they live in similar planets
Yeah,
as the conditions in Antarctica. Okay, it makes
yeah,
it that would explain why they would find UFOs in Antarctica, right?
UFOs, right? Yeah,
I
possibly.
mean, if aliens were smart, they would go somewhere where they could survive, where they're used to the climate, right?
But yeah, but the question is,
Listen, in space, it's really cold, Claudio, right?
yeah, but yeah, it is really cool.
So if it's really cold, the aliens wouldn't want to come to Brazil, right, where it's really hot.
Yeah, unless they have a tangerine problem, they end up going
I'm really
Antarctica.
interesting to see if there's a lot of UFO sightings in Antarctica. Probably not because it's so classified, but
What if Area 51 is in Antarctica?
that's what Railcat is saying. You
I'm
see,
not.
I don't know. I don't know. Like, it's hard to like. To me, I see it as a transportation problem. Why the hell would you want to bring everything down there? Don't you think it would be like really like to bring a spaceship all the way to Antarctica? Don't you think it would be hard to bring it down there, like
Or
without being
may,
spotted?
or maybe I think one of us mentioned it when we were covering Area 51. Maybe Area 51 that we know over there is just a test site, but the
Hmm.
actual labs and stuff are in
That's a good
Antarctica.
point. It could be that Area 51 is just, how do you say it, a distraction, and maybe the real stuff that goes on, the real test goes on in Antarctica. It's very possible. Listen, like I said, Antarctica is owned by several different countries. They all do different things, right, Claudia? I don't think they all do the same thing, right?
I
To
feel
me, the thing is, guys, if Antarctica is owned by different countries, governed by different countries, don't you think they would spy on each other and things would leak?
Yeah, yeah, that too.
See,
Or they
that
say,
pretty much kills every single theory. But I'm saying,
but Antarctica is owned by Canada and Russia.
no, it's not owned by Canada and Russia. There's other countries too, Claudio.
I really know because I heard Russia as well.
I have to check the Antarctic Treaty, but I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure it's owned by various countries.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm not sure if it's actually half half with Antarctica. You said what? The States and Antarctica and Russia?
Canada. Yeah, Canada and Russia.
Could be. Another reason why people could be going there and why the government seems to love Antarctica, it could be that there's an oil reserve there, right, Claudio?
Yeah, a lot of oil, a lot of rich oil. So that could be one. It could be. Yeah, it could be oil reserve. It's a rare. It was Antarctica was a very rich place back then before the snow covered.
But just think about it. Antarctica. It's a very big area, and don't forget, guys. A lot of people think Antarctica is the Arctic. There's land under the ice, which means there's resources, and a lot of it is unexplored in Antarctica. Could it be that it's basically a gold mine of oil, Claudio? And maybe
Yes.
the government wants to just cash in on it. What do you think? Like, when they said that oil would run out, why the
Mhm.
hell is it that we still have oil and we still have gas? And I don't understand.
Um. Yeah. Yeah. It's a possible theory, but because I'm also reading another theory right now.
Yeah.
Isn't the Arctic a native land too?
The Arctic, a native land.
Mhm.
Well, the Arctic, if you're talking about the Arctic and the North Pole, okay,
No,
it's
no, no. Sorry.
ice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Talking
Antarctica.
about Antarctica.
Yeah.
Well, obviously natives were there, right? People that humans were there for the longest time. I mean, whether they're native or not, that I don't know. But what's your point to that, Claudio?
My point is to this is that maybe millions of years ago it was a native land.
A native land. I mean, native of who? Like
Natives, Native American, First Nations.
First Nations. It could be. It could very. But what does that have to do with oil, Claudio?
Because what I'm saying is that back then they were rich, and back then the natives, First Nations, they were very rich because they had oil, and they always went to oil. So when the settlers came, they would trade. They would give them the oil. They would give them access to the oil, and if I again, I may go off on a little tangent here, but before the ice age, it was a very beautiful place, right? So it was a very beautiful place, and I'm sure there was a lot of oil. So maybe natives, that's how they did the
Business.
business. And also, let's go back to the pyramids, right? Maybe the
Maybe the pyramids were gas stations.
maybe, yeah, maybe. So maybe there were gas stations with the ones in Egypt and Mexico. Again, I'm thinking like crazy. I should stop.
Yeah, yeah. And guys, what if there's just penguins and seals? That's it. Just penguins and seals live there, and there's nothing going on there. That is a theory, guys. Maybe there's nothing going on there. We're just literally like just going crazy right now, and the government has no agenda there. I mean, it's possible, guys. It's possible that it's just a peaceful place, right, Claudio?
Possible, because from what from what we see, there's like no action going on in the Arctic as far as we know. There may be action going on, but we don't know. It could be a possible place where the penguins are just trying to fight for their land, and then you have the seals who are annoying, and there we go. So that could be one.
Either way, guys, seriously, Antarctica and the Arctic, they're endangered places because of the heating of the planet, because of idiots that throw bottles in the ocean, and us not taking care of the environment. It's in danger, guys. It's in danger. The places like Antarctica, places like the Arctic. So we got to do our part, guys. We got to do our part to keep our planet safe and livable for all beings and animals. You know what I mean? So, guys, I think we went through quite a bit of theories there. If I were to choose, guys, about what I think goes on there, if I were to just give you a definitive answer, I always do this at the end. You know what? It's kind of tough, guys. It's kind of tough. But I'll just go through the theories again, and I'll tell you what I think is bullshit or not bullshit. UFOs crash there. It could be. I'm not saying it is, but it could be. There's unknown species. Absolutely. It has to be. There has to be unknown species in Antarctica for sure. Nazi base, possible, very possible that Hitler escaped there. The hole in Antarctica, I don't believe that at all. The celebrities theory, I actually do believe that. Like, Claudia, you could say what you want, but I think people go there to hide. It's very possible. There's the Atlantis. That I don't know. I have a hard time. I do think Atlantis is real. I don't think Atlantis is in Antarctica though. I don't believe in the flat Earth theory, so I don't believe that Antarctica is a wall. Aliens live there. Like I said, I'm not there. It could be aliens live there, and they meet with Legault and what's the guy's name in the Britain there, Boris Johnson and all those people. The bacteria, there is bacteria there, guys, especially cold-loving bacteria. Nuclear tests, there could be nuclear tests, but at the end of the day, guys, what I know is that penguins and seals live there. That's what I know. Everything else is up for debate, and you just have to visit Antarctica. And that's the purpose of the show, guys. It's the unknown, okay? The unknown. We don't know, guys. We don't know what goes on there until we go there. We put on our snow boots, we get on our Canada Goose, and we freaking take a plane to Antarctica and go see for ourselves. It's the only way we're going to know. Claudio, thank you very much for coming, like always, our senior correspondent. Thank you to our producer, Shannon Graham. Next week, guys, we're talking about the end of the world, okay? So we're going to talk about theories of how the world will be ending, okay? Very excited for that. Tomorrow is 2 Men in a Podcast on the 3 Men in a Podcast on our channel, 3 Men in a Podcast on YouTube. We're going to be talking about relationships. Very important episode. Thursday, I have a cook, a special guest cook, Mr. Anthony Polisena. Going to be very interesting. So, guys, we have a lot more content coming. And I'm going to just announce this very quickly. I'm thinking of doing a kids show, like a puppet show, and also a Ange's Reviews segment, which is very, very interesting. Lastly, if you want to become a member, now is the time. Once we hit 10 members on the channel, I will be doing a members-only show live stream. It's going to be a motivational live stream called The School of Ange. Very excited for that. So if you're thinking about being a member, now is the time. All right, guys. Me and Claudio are signing out from Antarctica. It's very cold over here. We're going to need some jackets because it's getting really cold. Hey, Claudio?
Yeah, it really is.
I think I got a frostbite on my left foot. But anyways, guys, I will see you next week on The Unknown. We're talking about the end of the world. You do not want to miss that. Next week, next Tuesday, 7 o'clock, same place, same time. Mega shout out to Vistaprint for this banner right here of the Ange TV Show that I got in 2 days shipped. Okay, not even. I think it was 1 business day shipped. So mega shout out to Vistaprint Canada. Guys, we are taking off. Thank you for coming. Ciao.